Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today, yes, is a podcast. So before I officially get started, I did just try doing the live edition, but I didn't like how that turned out. So I figured I'd just sit down and actually film the podcast, actually, like I normally do. So yeah, I tried live edition and it failed. So yeah. So welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. But if you're a returning subscriber, welcome to you too. So, as usual, if you like this channel and the content on it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And for those who were hoping for a podcast, you get your podcast. So I feel like every time I start this podcast, I neglect to mention things. So today is today is episode 9 of the Crochet and Knit podcast, and I am your host, Kaylee Harrington, and I am coming to you from New Brunswick, which I always feel to say, who I am in the podcast and, where I'm filming from. So, I always feel like I keep forgetting that basic info. So, yeah, I am coming to you from New Brunswick, Canada. So, I do have a story time to share, which Bobby also shared on her podcast. It's, we decided to go for a walk, which Google Maps said it was only 2.5 hours, but it did wind up being 3 hours. But we have our post office, which is a 7-minute drive from our house. So we're like, okay, we got this. We can walk this. We got it. It won't take us too long. I mean, we knew, it was going to take us, at least a couple hours, because, well, I walked. We went for a walk, but she rolled. I walked, Same thing. So we set it around 2 o'clock, and we actually got there around 5, and there was one point that we were so close, and then I kind of had a mini panic attack because these 2 dogs who weren't chained up just come barreling down their driveway towards us, and it's oh my. I actually let out a high-pitched scream, so it's oh my. Ooh. Anyway, this car that was coming, her and her family, they actually stopped between us, and so did the car behind and the transport truck behind them. They actually did stop too, and they left when we were further down the road. And all the time the dogs were barking, and they did that. We never even saw the owners come out, so that did happen. So it's okay, I'm not walking back by. And her chair didn't have enough battery to make it back anyway. So I went to the post office, which actually had to sprint the last of it. I ran in there at 4:58. It's I made it. She brings out the box. She's it's a big box. Are you sure you want to take it with you? It's I walked here to get it. I am getting it. I am bringing it with me. So we called Dad, and he came and got us around, I think it was 6:45. It was when he made it there, because he picked up the trailer, put the chair on. So we called Dad, and there's a Needs in where we have our post office, so we went in there and I grabbed us a bite to eat. So because it was supper time. We were gonna go into this nice restaurant, but there's this lip on a ramp, so we couldn't get up the ramp. It was disappointing, but I guess we had needs, and we had subs, and I got my potato salad, and Dad got a pop when he showed up. In all, it was a very good day. So you can't go wrong with that. So this was our little story time. So I did, on another new topic, I did sign up for this app called Depot. Depot or Depop? I think it's Depop. One of the YouTubers I watched was Lindsay Hughes. I actually decided to download it after she explained that she uses it. So I decided it basically looks like Instagram. So I'll link my link to that in the description box below with all my other links. So as you know, it's probably the past, actually I kind of think last week I released 3 videos, so which I like doing. For some reason I can't keep on a regular schedule, but I can do random uploads. So you are going to see the podcast, but I'm also getting into integrating more variety of videos, so the makeup, the Davis tea. So there is going to be a more variety of videos starting, but there will still be podcasts. because my channel is a multi-theme channel, and I feel like I haven't been doing that because there's like a gap of like 8 videos where it's nothing but crochet and knitting. But I do have a yarn haul in there, which I will also link in the description below. So, if you like the content on this channel, before we get into the actual yarn and stuff, then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment your current work in progress. So without further ado, let's get on with the actual crochet and knitting part. So, I have 4 works in progress. One of them I've drug out because I want to work on it. I feel like if I don't drag it out, then I won't work on it. So, the first one I'm going to start with is this little nifty bag here, which I'm not showing everything in the bag. It's just I have the project in the bag. So, open this up. The yarn I am using for this, since I do have a whole one to show you, I'm using the Bernat Handicrafter Cotton. Ooh, it's ultra soft. Okay, I do like how it says that. Machine washable and dryable, medium number 4, cotton. So I am using this. And I figured out that one of these makes 2 dishcloths. So I'm actually pretty excited about it. And I just told you the project. Make sure I got the ball with it. So these are the dishcloths. Closses. If that's even a word. Cloths. Anyway. Stay. Yes, I'm talking to a poly yarn. This is a really simple dishcloth that I made. It's all half double crochets with a border of slip stitches / single crochets. So that's really all there is to it. It's just 18 stitches by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's at least 20, 25 rows. So I just made 3 of them. And so I have 3 done so far. And I have a 4th one that I'm working on. And I'm confident, because I managed to get 2 out of the last one, so I think I can finish it with this one. We'll see. Okay. And we got a string. Okay. So, that is the dishcloth set that I am working on. And hopefully I'll have it done by next podcast. There is going to be a part 2 to it. After I finish the 4 square ones, I do want to make a set of circular scrubbies to go with it and sell them as a complete set. Or maybe sell them as a complete set. Either gift them or put them up on the marketplace or my Depop page. Whichever. Still have yet to decide it. So my next work in progress is I did it with the yarn haul, with the yarn I went to get on Friday. I never did mention the day, did I? No, I didn't. Anyway. So it was Friday that we did that walk. With the yarn, I'm using the loops and threads, the red and the yellow, and I'm making more granny squares, too, because I really love doing the granny square blanket, and, oh, apparently no, it works. Just gotta stretch it. So I have 2 yellow, 2 red, and this is just the Bella COCO tutorial that I've been going off of for that, and I will link that below, that video below, even that way you guys, if you guys want to go learn how to do a granny square, it's a great video, and I think it took me 2 times watching it to actually get the hang of it. So, I can link that below if you guys want to go check it out. It's a really good video to follow, and I am loving Bella COCO's tutorials. So, I am working on a 4th one. I just gotta add 1 more row to it, and then it's done. And so I think with a lot of the yarn I am going to be granny squaring a lot of blankets because I've gotten really into loving granny squares. So I do have that. So, oh, I gotta unbury it. Okay, I'm just gonna move some stuff out of my way because I gotta get. See if I can set this down gently there. Okay, this one's on top, so I think I'll show this one first. About a year ago, not this past winter, but the winter before, I had a bunch of t-shirts I didn't use anymore, so I decided to cut them up. Right now, I have it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4, and I plan to just add it till all the squares are on. I hope you can see this. So right now I have all the squares sewed together with some pins still in it. And I'm just going to fold this up so that my idea with that is basically just sewing a bunch of squares together, and it practices my sewing. And once that, I was originally going to do both sides in the squares, but I think I might just do other squares all around, because I still have quite a few squares to add to it, to make it a big blanket, and then put batting in it, like the flat sheet of batting, and then like a plain Jane backing. See, I have more squares pinned together ready for sewing, so I am happy about that. And I keep making my face nuclear every time I move. So if you see my face get blown out, that's because I keep moving. So I got this. I got 3 more pinned together, and I just gotta sew them once I learn the patience of threading a needle, which I do have. Can I find it? Yeah, it's right there. Denuclear. I have 3 needle threaders, which I find these work great. I do gotta like squish them a little to make them work properly, but I do have needle threaders, so they do work great. So the last work in progress, I actually have no finished objects this time around. I'm just gonna set the. As you all know, I did. Ooh, I'm gonna lose the sewing. Get more squares getting tangled up in my yarn. Anyway, as you guys all know, in my last, I did a Knit Picks in Yarn Canada haul, which I will also link that in the description box. Okay. So, you all know I ordered this coral baby blanket, super bulky yarn, which it was hard to crochet with, so I decided to knit with it. And I think when I'm done, I'm going to do a review on how I feel about the yarn, because it's my first time using it. So to get on with the fruit, don't mix other projects. Oh, I lost the granny square. Losing everything today. Oh, okay. So this is what I have so far. I'm basically just simple, like, plain stitching it into like one big long, I guess, scarf-like thing. That was a weird noise. Anyway, so I'm gonna do that with the whole ball, and then I'm gonna decide how I feel about it. It might just become like a simple get out of the shower wrap, because it feels very towel-like, but it also reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream and a waffle for some reason, because of how the stitches are looking. So I'm not going to go too in-depth on it in this podcast, because I'm going to be doing a review on it when I finish it. Just gonna put that up to the side so that it doesn't get tangled, which it probably is. So that was the 4 works in progress that I have been working on. I actually have no finished objects this week. I think all the finished ones were in last week's, but hopefully next week I have the dishcloths. I don't know next week, because I might start doing a podcast every 2 weeks. That way, like, I get a buildup of stuff, because I find, like, my podcasts aren't that long, and I'd like them to be a little longer. I thought originally that I'd just want to do them, like, in mini podcasts, but I think I do want to wait 2 weeks in between each podcast, so I actually have, like, finished. I have works in progress this time, but I might make it so where I have, like, I don't know. I hope you guys are, like, getting tongue-tied here. Oh my. And I'm gonna try and, like, see if waiting 2 weeks to do a podcast adds more to it, if that makes sense. So in the meantime, you're probably gonna see 8 videos, between, like, 5 to 8 videos of, like, makeup, hauls, reviews, maybe hair, or, like, whatever is, like, in my list. Like, I have a list because I'm a multi-theme channel, and, like, so you're probably gonna see 5 to 8 videos of, like, different types of videos, and then, like, one podcast, and repeat podcast. So that is it for my works in progress. So, like I said, no finished objects this week. I want to talk about Ravelry for a minute, do some little chit chat. So, because I can't update you on the percentage of my Ravelry challenge status, because I keep forgetting to upload the projects that I finished to it. So maybe in next podcast, I'll have them all inputted and be able to tell you what I did, like what percentage I'm at to in my progress. And as an ending note, I wanted to also talk about Twitter. Like I put a post on Twitter saying, I kind of put like, I need to clarify that I don't do sub for sub. Like if I like your channel, of course, if I like the content, I'll subscribe. But sub for sub, I don't do, because that really doesn't help anybody, I find. I don't know, you guys all have your different opinions. Maybe you can comment about it in the comment descriptions. Okay. Using all the wrong words today. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna stay on here too. I even said it in my yarn haul video, which I'll link that below, that I absolutely do not do sub for sub. Okay. I think I've clarified that enough now. So I will link my Davis T video below, the haul, the last podcast. I will link that all below. And if you like this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next podcast. Hope you guys have a lovely day, and see you soon-ish. 2 weeks is not soonish. I will see you in my next podcast.